Today we are going to study a very important library called as a Plotly. So Plotly is basically data visualization library. You can use Plotly for data visualization purpose like Matplotlib, then Cbun and ggplot. There are other data visualization tool also, but I like Plotly a much. The reason behind I like Plotly, you can do a lot of functions with Plotly library. Okay, so let's start with installation of Plotly. So I'm working right now in a Google Colab. So Google Colab does not require any installation. But if you are working in Python ideally or Jupyter Notebook, you need basically a installation. So what we are going to do? So first part is pip install Plotly. If you write, your Plotly will be installed. Here also in the Google Colab, we need to write exclamation mark pip install Plotly. It is going to show that it is already been satisfied. So you don't need to do anything for this. Okay, great. So now first we will going to start and make a very simple graph, and that is a line chart. So we have provided the data on x is 10, 20, 30. You can provide anything x, y, z, y equal to 1, 5, 2, and the title of the figure is sample figure. And if you want, you can just print the details of the figure, or you just directly go to the show option and the figure will be produced to you. Okay. So what we are going to use in the Plotly, we have the function called as express. Okay, in the express, we have the line chart, bar chart, and other charts which are available. So in the express, we are going to use the function line, and the x and y will be provided, and your graph will be ready. So plotly.express is px basically, and we are going to use px throughout the code whenever we have a plotly.express. You can write anything over here. You can write A, B, C, D, any requirement you want, you can write it down. Oh, great. So your figure is ready, and you can see a very beautiful figure which is coming up 10, 20, and 30, and X, 1, 5, and 2. Great. Okay. What special part of this figure in the plotly is you can just save this. When I click this, the file will be automatically downloaded. Okay, the file will be automatically downloaded. You can see the new plot has been in the PNG is downloaded. Next, you can zoom in, zoom out as per your requirement when you come to the plotly. So I can zoom in the graph, I can zoom out the graph. Okay, I can auto scale it, I can reset the scale, and there are some other option also available. Even you can save this image into the server of plotly if you have made some account. Great. So now we are going to go for the next figure, and that is a bar chart. So here I'm going to provide 10, 20, 30 as a Y, and let's see how the graph will look like. Okay. So 0, 1, and 2, because there's no Y has been provided, no X has been provided, only Y I have provided. It is by default, it has taken first reading as 0, 1, and 2. And you can see the beautiful graph which is coming up. The main special part of this is you can zoom in and zoom out as per your requirement. That's the main special part of the graph. Great. Okay. So the first graph is ready. Now let's go to the next one. Now we are going to take a data of iris dataset. Now what is an iris dataset? So iris dataset is basically the flower. So you just go to over here and just write down iris dataset on a Google search. And you can go to the Wikipedia directly. And in this, the iris dataset is given. So iris dataset is basically three kind of a flower. You can see iris setosa, iris versicolor, and iris virginica. So in the flower, we have two important things. One is the sepal and the second is a petal. Okay, what is a sepal and petal? So let's see what is a sepal and petal in iris or any flower. You can just write down in flower. So Google will going to give you some figure, and just take this figure. In this figure, you can see what is a sepal and petal. Okay. So sepal means the main part of petal means the main part of a flower, and sepal means basically the support part of the flower. Okay, a very beautiful representation of a sepal and petal in this figure. Okay, so once you understand the sepal and petal, you can even see this figure also. There's so many figures are available on a sepal and petal, but this is the best one. Petal is main flower part and sepal is this part. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to take this Irish flowers, that is a setosa, then versicolor and virginica, and we are going to take a sepal and petal length of this flower. Sepal and petal length of this flower. Okay, great. So now sepal and petal length of this flower will be taken. So someone has done already this readings and the data set is ready. So Plotly has the inbuilt data set called as the Irish, and we can use this data set for finding out whether it is a setosa flower, virginica flower, or versicolor flower. So we don't need to go and actually take this reading. These readings are already available in four types. The first is sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width. Based on that, the flower can be identified. Great. So now this data, using this data set, I'm going to make a lot of plots for you to understand how it actually works. So let me close down all this and make my screen enhanced so that you can see it very properly. Okay, great. So now we have a very beautiful data set which is available for a Plotly, and we are going to use it for finding out, making a different plot and understanding how the data set is actually look like in a visualization. So I'm going to make a scatter plot, and the scatter plot will be between sepal width. So you can see the sepal width is available over here, and you can see the sepal length which is available over here. Okay, and I'm going to make a color as a spice, that means this part, setosa, virginica, and versicolor. Okay, okay. So great. Let's see how it actually look like. So you can see the three different colors are coming. The blue one is a setosa, the red one is a versicolor, and the green one is a virginica. And your graph is ready, and this is basically called as scatter plot. Okay, based on that, you can apply this to the machine learning algorithm and get some good returns out of it. Okay, great. So now we have the next part, that is sepal width, sepal length, petal width, petal length, and I'm going to make a scatter plot matrix for all this. Scatter plot matrix for this. Now this is basically sepal width versus sepal length versus petal width versus petal length. So you can see all the four reading on the x-axis, all the four reading on the y-axis. In this, the diagonal graph is not useful to us because sepal width versus sepal width is not useful to us, but other graphs will going to make surely sense to you if you are making in term of a normal understanding. Great. So now I'm going to take a parallel coordinates, and here we are going to take a color as a spice ID, label as a spice, and all the readings which are available will be taken as a parallel coordinate. So let's see how the graph will look like. So this is a very special graph which I like a lot. I'm going to take one more example for this, but let's see what is the meaning of this. So all these spices, the three number is basically three number you can see over here. Three number is virginica. Okay. Two number is basically versicolor. So when you have the three, that means this, if you click this one, you will see the specific reading which is coming out of this. Okay. So the sepal which is 7.9. What is the meaning of this line? The petal length, the sepal width is 4.4, then the petal length is 6.9, almost 6.9, close to it, and it might have the petal width among this. So this way you can just identify the separation of a data. If you see this graph very carefully, the petal width of three of the flowers are different always. Only small overlap over the data. Otherwise, the petal width is the best way to identify which flower it is. If you see this petal length, the petal length of the blue one is always separated. So you can see, you can separate the data very easily using this kind of a parallel coordinates graph. Great. So this make more sense when you come to the next data set, where you can actually see the changes in the data. Great. So this type of a graph also you can make in Plotly. Now we can make a density counter using Plotly. Here also I'm taking x as a width and y as a basically length. Y is a sepal length, sepal width. And you can see the density graph which is coming up, which will be very much useful to understand how the data will actually going to look over. And if you take your cursor over here, you can able to read out the reading which is coming up. You can see very beautifully the Plotly graph. This is a very expressive graph you can take. So if I go to this point, it is going to say the sepal width is this and the petal width is this. And there are three count of the readings over here. Great. So now again we are going to make a density counter only, but the color. Color means the spices will also be considered here now. Okay, now you can see the different colors which are coming up. The red one is a Versi color. The green one is basically, the green one is basically Virginica, and the blue one is basically Setosa. So very beautifully you can separate the data. So Setosa is very separable over sepal width versus sepal length. Even you can make a rug plot, even you can make a density plot. You can see if you're coming over here, this graph is very expressive. It's going to tell you something. What is the meaning of that? Great. So now I'm going to make a heat map. Heat map X and Y, and the margin is basically taken as a wall, a rug, and the margin on the Y is histogram. That means there will be three different graphs coming up in same part. Okay. So this is rug on the y-axis. You can see RUG rug. Sorry, x-axis. On the y margin, we have a histogram, and the actual plot is basically heat map. Okay, so maximum density, wherever there is a maximum density, that will be dark. Okay, you can see this is the yellow color is more dark. Here we have 17 color. Okay, 17 readings, 5 readings, 1 reading, 3 reading, 4 reading. Okay, so there where there's a same kind of a reading, that time you can see the same color which are coming up, 17 and 17. We have 14 over here, we have 7 over here, we have 5 over here. So darkness of the graph will define whether what kind of readings are available over here. Great. I hope this is very logical way of checking out the data density. Now we can make a violin kind of a chart also. So let's take a scatteral chart, and on a Y margin I'm taking violin, and on a X I'm taking a box plot. Again, sepal width versus sepal length. You can see the graph. Actual graph is a scatteral chart, but here we have the violin kind of a chart, and you can see very beautifully the readings can be taken over here. Here also, great. So now I'm going to take a separate data set for making different graphs. Okay, so this was one data set which was available in Plotly itself, very famous data set. There is an iris data set, and we have the second data set called as a tips data set, which is also inbuilt available in Plotly itself. So I'm going to run this, and you can see the total bill, tips, then the gender, smoker, day, time, and size. So what is this data set is all about? So that two-person who visited the restaurant on that day. It was a dinner time. It was a Sunday. The both people were non-smoker. The gender was female. The tips which is paid by the customer to the waiter is 1.01, and the total bill is 16.99. So this way you can actually see. What total bill and what is the tips of that. Next, I'm coming to this part. That two-person Sunday, then the non-smoker category male. The total tip is paid is 3.31. and the total bill is this much. So that almost 244 readings are available with the 7 different columns. Okay, and we are going to use this data set for making a different plot. So now I'm taking X on a X sex, that is a gender, and Y is total bill. What total bill is paid by a separate gender, and the color is a smoker. That means whether that person was smoker or not smoker. Okay, so in normally when you go to the Cburn library, it is basically called as a hue, HUE, and in Plotly it is basically called as a color. So when I make this graph, you can see there is female and male category. Maximum male has come on that day for eating, and the female who came. And this female, the red females, red colors are basically, yes, they are smoker. The blue color are non-smoker. Okay, and the total bill you can see when you scroll down, you can see the total bill paid by them. Great. Here also we have the data which is coming up. Total bill paid by them, and smoker and non-smoker category. Great. So the red one is basically a smoker category. The blue one is basically non-smoker category. Now, if you go over here, it is basically Sunday, Saturday, Thursday, different days which are coming up. The people are coming from Thursday to Sunday. So they have taken reading from Thursday to Sunday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is taken. Then we have taken the time as lunch or dinner. Okay, and the bar chart I'm going to make, the X will be the sex, that is the gender, Y will be the total bill, the color will be a smoker, bar mode will be the group of the data I'm going to provide. Okay, and the row will be the time, and the column will be the day. Okay, time and day I already provided over here. So let's see how the beautifully uh, bar chart will going to come, and this is going to tell a lot of things to us. Great. You can see the Saturday, very few people have visited on that time. You can see Saturday total bill paid by the people. And here, Saturday, daytime and the lunchtime. Sunday and Saturday in the lunch, there was no people who came on that day. The maximum people came on Sunday is for a dinner. Okay, so you can check out this reading, and you can make a special dishes on Sunday evening. The very few people have visited for a dinner on Thursday because it is a working day. Okay, there are few people who visited on a dinner for Friday also, because from Friday the long weekend will start in the evening time. The maximum people who are coming up for a dinner is on Saturday and Sunday. So this graph can be observed by the restaurant authority or a hotel authority, and they can take basically they can take a decision based on this data. So that is a very special part of the data. Great. Now we'll go to the next one, and this will be the parallel graph. Now this is very special graph. We're going to tell you a lot of things. Okay, this is very special graph. You can see if I go over here, first part, the 18 females are non-smoker category. If I drag my cursor over here, these 18 females have visited on Thursday. Okay, they come for lunch, and the size was two. So there are two friends who might have come, two couples might have come that way. Okay, so now I'm coming to this smoker category, and you can see there are 93 people who are smoker, and in this 10 people are male. You can go over here. They came on Sunday for. You can just scroll down basically your cursor, and you can get a lot of reading. Time was dinner, and basically they come in a two people. That means couple. You can see, you can just scroll down your cursor and get a lot of insight of this data. A lot of insight. You can even predict a lot of new things from this. Great. See, a very interesting way of actually looking towards the data. Now I'm going to make a histogram for total bill and tips paid X and Y. Color will be the sex, that is a gender. Margin will be the rug, and let's see how it actually look like. So margin will be the rug, that means a dot lines will going to come. When you go over here, it is going to say what is the meaning of this line. So total bill, smoker, non-smoker, Thursday, Sunday, size of 2, everything will going to come. The blue part is basically the female, and the red part is basically the male who has come for that day. Very beautiful graph, and it is going to tell a lot of things to us. Now I'm going to make again a box plot with a notch as true. Okay, so this box plot will going to show you what is the mean of that, median of that, minimum value of that, and maximum value of that. Okay, so when you go to the particular graph, it is going to show you the readings of that. So Sunday, the minimum value of the total bill is 7.25. The maximum bill was 445.35. The median of that, the Q, that is the line of that minimum line and the maximum line of that median. So you can just go to that particular graph and make a lot of meaning out of that. So this is very interesting graph, and it is a box plot. Now coming to the violin plot, you can make a violin plot. I personally don't like much violin plot, but you can just scroll down and check out the reading. That is the special part of a violin. You can just scroll down like this. So particular way the reading is going to change X and Y, and you get a very good, beautiful way of visualization. Okay. So now we are going to make a strip chart. Okay, it look like a bar chart only, strip chart. Okay, so dots basically represent a particular data, bill and dinner time. So dinner and lunch I have taken time, and you can make a color as a smoker and non-smoker category. So blue one is no smoker category, and the red one is a smoker category. So maximum smoker people who has visited is on dinner. You can just make out the meaning out of this graph. Great. So now we are going to make again a bar chart, and bar chart will be total will versus a day. So you can able to understand what is the maximum money is coming on Saturday. Okay, great. So maximum people who visited the restaurant is on Saturday. So you can give a special service on Saturday. You can have the special arrangement on a Saturday, so that the maximum people will get your hotel service, and you get a maximum revenue also. The minimum even Thursday also the people have more people have visited. Friday there was a limited people, so this is going to tell us what arrangement to be done in a hotel or a restaurant by observing this data. Okay, so the minimum waste can be done, and we can get a very good returns. Now I'm going to make one more plot, and that will be a bar chart itself, but with a logic of different things like total bill versus the gender. The color will be the day, the orientation will be horizontal, and how our data will be tips and size. Now you can see the male and female. There is the day, Sunday, Saturday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay, this which we are separated. You can see the maximum people who visited is on Sunday. The maximum male who visited is on Sunday. The maximum female who visited is on Saturday. Okay, okay, maximum male also on the Sunday, Saturday. But Sunday there's a limited females, but Saturday there's a more females. Thursday both are equal, and we can say Friday there's a even a equal length almost. So a lot of things you can make out from this graph for sure. Now I'm going to make again a pie chart from this data tips versus day. So which day maximum tips has been paid? You can see the maximum tips has been paid for Sunday for sure. Okay, sorry, Saturday for sure, because Saturday more people have visited. Okay, almost 260 dollar or rupees, or you can say anything as per your country requirement. Okay, the maximum paid is on Saturday because maximum people visited on Saturday. Now we need to actually upgrade our plotly. to use the next functions. Now that functions are basically called as a tree map or path or basically this kind of stuff. So you need to write pip install upgrade. So the requirement is already satisfied. Let's go for the next part. Sometime after installation, it is going to say okay, you need to reset your runtime. So you can go to the runtime and just reset your runtime. But for me, I have already run this before, so it is already been resetted. Okay, great. So now we are going to make a tree map. Tree map for what day, time, and sex. That is gender and value will be the total bill. Okay, so the data set will be taken as a tips. You can see a very beautiful logical graph is coming up. So I'm go to the Saturday, the total bill which is paid on Saturday is this much. Okay, when you go to the dinner, it is going to say, okay, dinner and Saturday, this many people have come. The total male who has come, total female who has come and paid the bill. Similarly, on a Sunday dinner, how much money they have got, then male people who basically visited and a female person. Okay. Thursday, what was the lunch condition? Male, female, because there was no lunch on Saturday, Sunday. We have already seen in the data. That's why it is not showing for a lunch. But in Thursday, you can see for a lunch, how many male and female have visited. For Friday, how many male and female visited for a dinner and for lunch. You can see very beautiful graph. It's going to tell a lot of things about the data. So when you have this kind of a graph, you can explore your data in depth. So that is the beauty of a plotly, and that is basically from tree map we are going to get. Now I'm going to make one more plot, and that's called sunburst. So it look like a round chart, and so that's why it's basically called as a sunburst. And you can see on Sunday how many dinners have been served and how many males and female have visited. On Thursday, in lunchtime, how many male and female visited? In Friday, there was a lunch and dinner. Both, how many male and female visited? This is a next version of this. So if you like a tree map, then you can go for a tree map. If you like a sun burst, you can go for a sunburst. You can see Saturday dinner, how many male and female have visited. Great. A very beautiful way of actually looking over the data. Now we are going to make a scatter plot, bar chart in a subplot. That means both plot will be coming at the same time. So I'm going to take one row and two columns. So both graph will going to come uh, going to come uh, one by one. So first single row and two columns. You can see both the data is coming. Okay, and that will be one row and two columns. You can make it in a different form, two row and one column, same data I'm going to take. This is a way of actually looking over data with a lot of different graph. Like you can make a scatter chart, bar chart, line chart. Okay, now I'm going to make a subplot for different data. You can see the first data which I've taken x and y, second data, third data, fourth data, and we are going to make two rows and two columns. So this first graph will be on the first row, first row, second column, second row, first column, second row, second column, and the data which I have provided. And if you see, the fourth graph will going to come in a matrix format. Okay, you can put any data over here and you can decide which column and row it is going to come. Great. So trace way, we can basically have a scatter chart, line chart, bar chart. As per your requirement, you can make flow chart. This is basically a way of making a subplot in Plotly. Okay, so now we are going to use a one more concept called as a timeline. So suppose we have a different project which is coming up, project A, project B, and project C. And the start and end date of the projects is also been given to us. Sorry, and we are going to make a project like this. So when I run this, I'm going to get from Jan 19 to this project 1 will be running. This will be for project 2, and you can see project 2 and project C is almost overlapping, and you can see here also there's some overlap is coming up. So project A, project B, and project C. You can make a very beautiful timeline kind of a structure for your data. Now coming to the next scatteral chart, you can just make a scatteral chart. I already discussed this. You can make a scatteral chart like this, or you can provide a scatteral chart for the data which is already available in the data set. Okay. Again, we can have one more scatteral chart like this. You can see a very beautiful scatteral chart with form of line can be drawn using Plotly. Okay, now this is basically one more kind of a scatteral chart and a bar chart which is touching each other. You can see a very beautiful way of actually looking over the data. So data, you can take anything you want and you can make a bar chart and a scatteral chart together using the inbuilt function of Plotly. Now I'm going to take a data which is basically a range function. This is going to produce the data from 0 to 9. And the data x will be the x data 0 to 9, and the y will be basically x divided by 2. So let's see how the graph will look like. You can see 0 0 2 1 2 4 and so on. Okay, I'm going to make one more scatteral chart of the data which I'm going to provide. You can see. Okay, so now we are going to go for again one more scatteral chart with the concept of a marker. So this is going to show you the density. Like marker size for first one is 40, the second one is 60, so it is increasing. The third one is 80, increasing, and this size is 20. Okay, 4 versus 3, 13. You can see if you go over here, it is going to tell you. So you can decide your scatteral chart with the marker size also. And the last one will be the marker size. I'm going to make a very beautiful sign chart. Okay, sign chart, and that will be from 0 to 100, 0 to 10, and it is divided into 100 readings, and the function which is provided is sin t. So this way we can make a lot of graphs using Plotly, a very interesting and beautiful library which is available for a data visualization purpose. So this is Piyush Dave signing off. I hope I contributed to your life in a data visualization.